All right, good win, exciting ball game. I thought it was obviously a well-pitched baseball game. Carnsey really set the tone, did a nice job for us. Their guy did a nice job. Unfortunately, there were a couple mishaps on defense. The bunt play, we got to get an out there. Kind of drove the pitch count up for Nathan, but he looked good. His curveball is really good. I think that just speaks volume about their team over there. I mean, they just don't swing and miss very often. They fight and foul off a ton of pitches and drive the pitch count up. On our side offensively, Brandon Geyer obviously had a huge day at the plate for us. Some big hits. Joey Butler drove him in the first. That got us on the board, which was nice. And then KK's home run off of a really tough pitcher to give us the lead was nice. Our bullpen came in and did a nice job. It was a good win. We needed this one, and I'm glad we got it.
Kind of an interesting eighth with in the top of the eighth, the double play, and then bottom eighth, Cabby, calling time.
Yeah. Well, first of all, Loney, those plays Loney's made, the one in the ninth and the one in the first and third with Colomé on the mound, I mean, that's basically secured the win, saved the ball game. So those tremendous plays. It's sometimes the home plate umpire gets blocked out by the hitter, and I think that was kind of the case. The first base umpire called fair ball, so I mean that's the call. As far as Cabby's situation at the plate, he had called time. The umpire said something back to him, and I think there was some confusion in saying no time. Cabby assumed that he had got it, stepped out, stepped back in, and took a swing at the ball. It happens.
And then Brandon Geyer, what he's been able to do with this difficult role that he's in on this team.
Yeah, I mean, it's not an easy role. I mean, we look to Brandon. He always goes out there and gives us really good defense. He plays, obviously, again, the bulk of the left-handed pitching, gets some starts against some righties, but he really sets the tone for us against left-handed pitching, and he gives such quality at bats. I mean, their catcher from the first inning was sitting there looking in our dugout after I think the first at bat went 9-10 pitches. Like, what do I got to do to get this guy out? So that in itself says a lot. And Brandon picked us up big by kind of setting the tone.
Colomé getting 2 more innings of scoreless relief tonight. I mean, you can't say enough about how well he's made that transition.
No, he's been really good, really good. Somebody made a comment or asked the other day about whether he would go 2 innings or not all the time. Ideally, not. We want to keep him as fresh as possible. Given what our bullpen status was coming into today, we needed him to go 2, and I mean, he made some huge pitches for us.
The way you play and the way they play, it's almost always going to come down to the bullpen, right?
It certainly seems that way. We're similar teams, and then we feel our bullpen is a strength in that regard. They're kind of firing on all cylinders right now. We need to get to that point, but there are a lot of games that are going to come down to the bullpen.
Kiermaier's been talking about trying to do less
Yep.
with his swing, and then he gets homers in back-to-back games, and
Yep.
pretty much beeline type of homers. It's like the product.
Yeah, I mean the plan is to basically send out a outlaw figurine and bust his thumb every other series. Yeah. So no, he's been swinging the bat tremendous. He's in a good spot. I think hopefully this is a little bit of a learning experience for him. That he's super talented. He's got plenty of power. Like, less is more at times, and I know that's kind of cliche and gets old hearing that, but I think we're seeing a direct example of that right now. That it's not comfortable for him right now, and he's not trying to do too much, and it's paying off in huge dividends.
And piggybacking off of Mark, could other hitters also follow suit in that?
Well, yeah, I mean, I think at times, yeah, you see a lot of guys throughout the course of the season that try to do more. When they start pressing, they try to swing harder. They expand the zone. But hitting a baseball is very difficult. There's definitely not one way to do it. This seems to be working really well for KK.
Given the circumstances and going out on this trip tomorrow, can you overstate the importance of getting this win today?
Not really. I mean, we needed this win. We need to go play well on this road trip. We try not to get too far ahead of ourselves, but this was a big one because we've had some close games, some frustrating losses, no doubt. To be able to bounce back and get a win in a tight ball game, it continues to speak about this club. I mean, we could have easily kind of folded there, and we did not. And you credit Nate Carnes on that because he was in some jams and he pitched out of them.
Nate was, the last couple games or his last couple starts, not getting off to a good start in the first. How good was it just to see him at least get a couple innings clean to start the game?
It was big, and it's been a little bit glaring lately that the first couple innings have kind of bit him a little bit, or bit us. And when he's out there, but for him to hit a really crisp inning, that first one, and hopefully that provided a confidence boost right there and get him on a roll. I mean, like I said, we misplayed some balls, but he overcame that really well.
That strikeout of Hosmer was big.
It was huge. It was huge.